Hi, I'm Baliki. I want to welcome you to my JKD series. In this series, we're going to bring you through beginning level 1 all the way up into apprentice level material. Now, we do have more past the apprentice level, but right now, if you follow this whole series, you're going to have enough material to instruct a class or to become an instructor under me. All right, so what we're going to start with is, of course, beginning level 1. We're going to go through all what I consider the 4 levels of it. We're going to bring you back into intermediate level, all 4 levels, and advanced, all 4 levels, and then into the apprentice material. All right. Within it, there are going to be a lot of things that we do. Some of it you might not feel is the best for you to do, or you might not feel the best at. That's okay. What I'm doing is I'm showing you all of what we call Junfan Gung Fu. Junfan is Bruce Lee's Cantonese name. Junfan is the system that we do, or what we call it, because it's what Bruce Lee did. All right. Jeet Kune Do is the philosophy that Bruce Lee carried, or that he pressed upon people. All right. When we do Jeet Kune Do, it is not Junfan Gung Fu. This is going to sound weird, but just bear with me. All right. Junfan is what Bruce Lee did. Doesn't mean that we could do it, or it doesn't mean we can't do it. We can do it as well as he did. You might feel more comfortable going into some other areas and doing some other things. But what Bruce Lee did, I am going to show you. Probably not looking as good as Bruce Lee did, but I'm going to do my best. What I can do is I can impress upon you all the things that he did, and I can feed that to you. Some of you guys might be better kickers or punchers than me and make it look better. Some of the things I do, you might say, it's not for me, and that's fine. Don't do it, but I want you to know it. You know, the idea is, he said you need to be a sculptor. So the sculptor has to have some stone to chisel away. If you have nothing, you can't make something of nothing. All right, so we're going to get going with this. And what I want you to do is I just want you to kind of bear with me, look at it, and really give it a good, honest, effort to try to get this material down. If it doesn't feel right for you, that's okay, because if you start to teach this, if you're an instructor or become an instructor in this, you're going to have to show your students. And what doesn't feel real good to you, some of the things that I do, I don't especially think it is suited for me, but I still show it because I think it could benefit other people. And there's a lot of things that I do now that I didn't do when I was younger. I remember seeing it when I was younger. I'm going, oh no, I would rather just do this, or jump here or move here. And now I go, oh, now I'm a little older. Maybe I don't move as fast. So I go, oh, I could see why he did that. He did it because if he couldn't move here, he had a defense. All right, so you'll see what I mean once you get going with this. Okay, now I want to give you just a second of history. My instructor, his name is Dan Inosanto. Dan Inosanto is the highest ranked Jeet Kune Do practitioner. He's the only ranked Jeet Kune Do practitioner under Bruce Lee that's alive. James Lee was also certified under Bruce Lee, but he passed away right after Bruce Lee's death, or no, before it, in the early 70s. Okay. Taki Kimura is a Junfan instructor under Bruce Lee. Remember I said there's a difference between the two. Taki Kimura is he's ranked 1 level higher in Junfan Gung Fu than Dan Inosanto, but in Jeet Kune Do, Dan Inosanto is the only man alive who is certified under Bruce Lee to teach Jeet Kune Do. My instructorship, I'm a full instructor under Dan Inosanto in Jeet Kune Do. All right, so I want you to get going with this, and like I said, give it a good, fair chance. Listen to what I got to say. If you find a better way of doing it, God bless you, good for you. But right now, this is my curriculum, and I'm going to show it all to you, and hopefully we can get you up to instructor level. Okay, now you're at the start of the tape, beginning levels 1 through 4. Don't be too concerned where 1 stops, 2 stops, 3 stops, or going into 4. Right now I'm just laying out the whole thing. You should have a broad overview of everything. When you're with me, and I hope you do come with me and test under this, and I'll kind of let you know what you need within that material. But I know it's going to be really tempting to skip forward into the intermediate or advanced material. Go take your look, but come back and really get this material. It'll help you get through the intermediate level stuff. Okay, so let's get started. 1 to 4, beginning level. All right, we're going to start off with a salutation. In Junfan Gung Fu, what they do is they will step forward with the right leg at about a 90-degree angle. They cover the fist. Then you're going to step forward and you show the fist. Then both hands will curl in, and you'll step back as you pull your arms back. Okay, one more time. You're going to step forward, cover the fist. This represents the yang, the strong side, and then yin is the soft side. So they will cover it, then the yang will expose itself, both hands will pull in and step back. After you get used to the salutation, or after you get used to doing it, what they want you to do is they want you to go and you step. So the footwork goes one. It's almost like you're not even setting your foot on the floor. They just go like that. So one more time, it goes and then back. Okay, we're going to go into stances now. All right, the first stance in Junfang Gung Fu that I want to teach you is called Yi Chi Kim Young Ma. Yi Chi Kim Young Ma, the Chinese translation of it's kind of humorous. It means character 2, goat restraining stance. I know it sounds weird, but just I'll explain it to you. All right, now, if you think of a Chinese character, the character for 2 is a short line with a little bit longer line. So if I drew a line that went from about here to here, and then I drew another one behind it that was a little bit longer, that's a character 2 in Cantonese. So what they do is they put the heel on the long line in the back and the toe on the shorter of the lines in the front. The same thing on the opposite side. So right here, this is called Yi Chi Kim Young Ma. Yi Chi means character 2. Kim Young Ma is goat restraining stance. So what they would do is they would restrain the goat from milking it. All right, so this is Yi Chi Kim Young Ma. Now, as soon as I go into the stance, this is where I would put my hands. Now, if I come up, this is called Bai Zhong. All right, now this is Bai Zhong right, Bai Zhong left. Later, when Bruce Lee came to America, he modified it to the Bai Zhong stance was here. It is more in a forward stance. A lot of people, I feel, don't truly understand what Yi Chi Kim Young Ma means, or what this stance means, why I would be in it. I would not go into a fight and say, you want to fight from this position. It's supposed to represent each rear foot, meaning if I were in a right lead, this is the rear foot, or if I were in a left lead, this is the rear foot. So right now I'm in 2 rear feet, if that makes sense to you. I hope so. All right, so now Bai Zhong stance, and again, they modified it. This is Bai Zhong left or Bai Zhong right, okay? Later, the rear heel came up, they got rid of the Bai Zhong stance, and they went into just a boxing pose right here. So this is the right lead or left lead. Now, if you're a Junfan enthusiast, you're going to know that he favored the right lead. He said the strong side should be forward. Nowadays, we cross-train so much, we pick left or right. I'm left-handed myself, so I get to fight in my left lead. All right? Like I said, nowadays, it doesn't matter. People will go left lead, right lead. The idea is, well, the idea that I like to go by is if this side gets damaged, I better know how to fight on this side and be just as comfortable with it. And vice versa. If this guy's side got damaged, I better be comfortable in this lead. Okay, now we're going to go into footwork. All right, what I want you to do is we're going to have to kind of look at the stance again. So going into our fighting stance, I'm in a left lead. Again, traditionally, Junfang Gung Fu is taught in the right lead if you're right-handed. I'm left-handed, I'm going in my left lead. The idea is, again, supposed to be putting your strong side forward. So in the left lead, I want to point my front foot and my rear foot about 1 o'clock. I want some space in between. If you notice, I'm not standing on a tightrope here. I need a little bit of space in between. A shoulders width distance apart will give me some stability. So from that stance, I lift up the rear heel, and keep your hands up always, and that's going to give me some mobility, and I'm underneath it. I got some good power still to hit with. All right, so starting the footwork, we're going to do step, slide, advance. So with the lead leg, I am stepping forward and sliding the rear foot. Step and slide, step and slide. All right, let me show you the profile. Again, in our fighting stance, you're going to step and slide, okay? So now, coming back, I want to retreat. So I will step, slide, retreat, step and slide, step and slide. The second one that I want to do is going to be slide and step. So I slide the rear leg and I step with the front leg. I slide, step, slide, step. Retreating, I will slide the front, step back with the rear. Slide and step, slide and step. The third one that I want you to do is I want you to push, shuffle, advance. So now you're going to push off your rear leg. So I just go 1 and step forward, 2, 3. Again, from the profile, push off this rear leg. So I just push and then step forward. All right? With the retreat, you're going to push with the front leg going backwards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everything we do forward and back, we can do laterally, side to side. So, first one, I will step, slide, step and slide, step and slide. Or I can go to my right, step, slide, step, slide, step, slide. We never want to cross feet. Try not to go from here and cross step over. You're going to trip yourself up. You're going to be on your rear end if you don't watch out. So, right from here, the second one, what I want to do is we're going to slide step. It almost looks like a pendulum. Again, I'm not crossing my feet. I'm sliding my foot and I'm stepping to the side. One more time. Going back to my right, slide step, slide step, slide step. The third one is push shuffle. Just push with it. 1, 2, 3. Push shuffle the opposite direction. 2 and 3. All right, that's the basic footwork of just going forward, back, side to side. Now, we will go, I'm going to use this figure right here. This is the forward triangle. So I will step forward on a 45, and I step back, step forward, 45, step back. So I just want you to go right here. This is the triangle footwork. We call this the forward triangle. It's also known as the female triangle. All right, now, going back is the male triangle or the reverse triangle. Time. Okay, I'm going to come back over here. Now we're going to do the lateral triangle, or we call it the replacement step. So what I do is I draw back and I step forward. So it looks like I'm going on a straight line or like I'm trading my stance. I basically am, but it's still considered the triangle. All right, I'm going to call Larry in. The way we use this right now, let me swing in this side. If Larry were to kick my leg, what I do is when he goes, I change and I can get the kick back. Slowly, I will draw back and I kick it. One more time. I draw back and I get that kick on the leg. Okay, thanks, Larry. All right, so that's the replacement step. 1 and 2. Okay, next one. We're going to go pendulum step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step up with the rear foot and step forward with the other. So it almost looks like the slide step, but I go right back. So it goes 1, 2. So I go in, I come back out. Go in, come back out. In, out. So a little freer, we'll just play with it like this. Okay, then 1 foot. Okay, and time. All right, now we go into jag step. Jag step steps off on a, let me use this triangle for you again. Step up on a 45, I step back center, and I step off on the 45 with the same foot. Then it replaces back to the middle and back to the side. So this is known as jag step. Again, I'm going to call Larry in. And the way we use jag step, if Larry's doing the jag step right now, he's following me. So if I'm circling him, he's probing in and out. You see it? All right, thank you, Larry. Okay, so that's jag step. Now, from there, we will step off and I quarter turn. Step and quarter turn, step off, quarter turn, step off and quarter turn. Reverse the direction, step, quarter turn, step and quarter turn, step and quarter turn, step and quarter turn. Just like the step and quarter turn, but now we're going to pretend our foot is nailed to the floor. So I just want you to quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. Reverse the direction, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I want to go into curve step now. So curve step, kind of like the Muhammad Ali shuffle. Remember, Muhammad Ali was really big back in the 70s while Sifu Bruce Lee was alive. So he really emulated a lot of his footwork. So what I want you to do is, and if you've seen an Ali boxing match, you'll probably see it, it'll look like this a little bit. So he would circle the opponent, And if he was backpedaling, he would keep the inside hand out, keeping your opponent at bay a little bit. Okay, then we're going to reverse the direction. So, okay, and then that's the back pedal. The last thing that I want to show is step through. So they would go in their lead and they would change their lead. They would step through, raising the rear heel, step through, raising the rear heel. They would step back, raise that heel up, make sure the rear heel is raised up, and step back and step back. Okay, all this footwork together, some of it might not look like you'd be able to pull it off in a fight or do it, but as this tape progresses and we get through it, I'll show you all the application of what you're doing and why we do it and when we do use this. So just train this. Go slow with it at the start. Don't try to do it too fast. If you feel yourself crossing, just correct it right away. You should get a partner. Let me call Larry in one more time. All right, a curve step, just the last thing that we're doing. Curve step, you'll get the timing of your partner, right? We could curve step reverse directions. Okay, the same thing. If we're here, if he steps advanced, does that mean I should follow it? Same thing with him. And if we step this way, just follow it. So you just try to kind of Xerox each other and try to make it things like, you just try to make yourself match each other. It'll build up a lot of timing, distance, cadence with each other, and it's very important when you're getting ready for sparring or just protecting yourself on the streets, just to know where you're at versus your opponent. Okay, now we're going to get into all the boxing and Jun Fan Gung Fu. So what I first want to show you is the 5 basic jabs that they use in Jun Fan. All right, the first one is the finger jab. So you're just going to flick the fingers out. So it goes 1 and right back. All right, make sure you don't drop your hands. It's I jab, come back right to the beginning position. Okay, so you got the finger jab. All right, then you got the speed jab. The speed jab is just a nice, quick, flicky jab. You're just going to whoop and then right back. It's not the finger jab. Loose hand, snap the punch, and then back, relax, loose again. So just right there and back. Okay, now you got the full body jab, meaning I'm not going to hit you in the body. I'm using my full body. So this one, if my body steps in, I kind of open up like that and then right back out. This is my full body. It's more of a power jab. 1 and right back out. Okay, then we have an entering jab. The entering jab, when I throw the punch, I'm going to close that gap on you. I want to gain some distance. So that's the entering jab. So I jab and it brings me in close to you. Okay, and the last one in this is just a body jab. So what they do is they duck and they just hit the body jab. Duck and hit a body jab. All right, so you got the 5 jabs. It's the finger jab, speed jab, full body jab, entering jab, and the body jab itself. Okay, we're going into basic hands now. This is just basic punching, basic boxing hands. A lot of you might already know this. We're going to cover it anyway for you. I'll let you know a little bit of the way that I've been taught how to do this. And it might be a little bit different from your style, but we're going to start off just with the jab. All right, I want your hands up, feet again. You're still, feet at 1 o'clock, you're still in your basic stance. All right, rear hand stays up. When you punch, I don't want this hand dropping. When you punch, I don't want this hand dropping. Whatever goes out returns back. So basic jab is, okay? So just extend it, come back. One more time, and then I just come back. All right, 1 and then back. Okay, now the rear hand, I want you to throw it out, cover your chin, don't have that head up. Remember that, don't drop this hand down. All right, when we go, just come right back. All right, let me swing Larry over here so you can look at it this way. So when we go, okay, so that's the cross. Remember, hands up, keep that chin down, all right? Look forward still, don't drop your head, all right? Don't drop this hand. So that's the cross. Okay, now we're gonna go to the hook. All right, with the hook, there are several schools of thought. One, some people say hit horizontal. Others say you want to hit vertically, so with like a vertical punch. I used to compete in shoot wrestling, and we would have the gloves on. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but some of the gloves, the knuckle would be exposed. So it might be a little bit of cheating, but we tend to hit this way. What I would do, let me turn you this way a little bit. I would put the glove on it here. That way, I can get a whole lot of knuckle in there. And fair or not, most of us would do it. Okay, so you got several schools of thought also with this. If I hit horizontal. This is good, right? But if I'm fighting Larry, if I get it all on him, that's great. If Larry sways back a little, and maybe I only clip him with the end, you can get a boxer's fracture. If you take a look at my hand, I got a boxer's fracture. He kind of zigged out of the way, and it broke my knuckle. All right. The other one solution to that I've been taught, my Sifu Dan Inasano, he likes to hit vertically, and he said even if you hit solid, that's great. But if he sways back and I only catch a little bit, you're still hitting with all 4 knuckles versus just the 2. Okay, so you pick the way that you like best. Just know the strengths and the weaknesses to each of them. All right, so we're gonna move on. Okay, let me have Larry step over a little bit more. Good. All right, now I want you to watch my feet and my elbow. When I hook, I'm still doing the heel-toe sway, that footwork. So now we just employed one of the footwork drills that we do. When I throw the hook, I shift my weight, I lift that front heel, my elbow comes up with it, and I hook. Now if you look at it, my punch originates about what, how many, about 3 to 4 inches away from the mitt, all right? By the time I bring it up, it hooks in. It doesn't swing past. It's not a movie. You don't need to see the punch. You want it to just go and right back to your face. So my elbow comes up, my heel comes up, they both drop in tandem. So one more time. Okay, that's the hook. All right, so now we're going to go to the uppercut. The uppercut right here, I want this hand up, and you're just going to pop upward. Or he could do the lead. Now what I'm thinking, every time I uppercut and I dip, maybe he crossed at me. Maybe I slipped it. Maybe I want to uppercut into his face. So every time I'm here, I think of just pulling right back up into his face, okay? From here, there's the overhead. When I go with the overhead, I want your arm up. A lot of people do this. It's not an overhead. The whole idea, maybe I'm here, and maybe Larry bob and weaves. There's my overhead, okay? So he's just going to go and put it right there for me. Again, my hand hits back up to my face. Opposite side. Okay, the last punch I want to go over with you for now is going to be the body punch. So body hook. This one I tend to like to step. A lot of times if I had a heavy bag here, Larry will be my heavy bag for a second. What I would do is I would step and hit the heavy bag right there, and then just kind of come right back out of it. So if he's got the glove up, and right back. So I just shift, almost like I'm going to turn and I'm going to run away. It goes, hey, hey, hey. Okay, get a little oxygen going. My yelling is more actually from Thai boxing. My Thai boxing instructor just used to scream at me so much because I would do things, he'd have it up, and I'd be holding my breath, I'm suffocating. At the end of it, my lips would be blue. I'd be like cyanosis. So he would say, breathe, breathe. He would yell at me, make me do push-ups every time he caught me not breathing. So I have a habit now, hey, hey, I'll yell, I don't care. Yell as much as you want. If you're hitting them, it's gonna look good. If you're not hitting them, maybe you'll scare them. I don't know, so it's just up to you. But anyway, so you got the jab, to recap, you got the cross, you got the hook, you have an uppercut from the rear hand, uppercut, lead hand, overhand, rear hand, overhand, lead hand, and the body hook. Okay? All right, we're going to go in upper body defense right now. So I still want you to get in your fighting stance. So step off, both of them point about 1 o'clock, chin down. Real important. I want your chin looking down. I don't want you looking at the ground. I just want your chin down. Don't pitch your forehead forward. Just kind of, you want to be still erect, straight up, but you don't want your head tilted. It just makes his hand that much closer to your face. So I look down. I don't want to fight with my chin up. I'm going to get knocked out that way. So I try to get my head lowered. My gaze is still straight forward, right at my opponent. All right, so when we're in our lead, chin down, hands up. All right, the first one that we're going to do is sway back. So now, when we go, we sway back. Just envision that punch whipping right at you. You're kind of getting out of the way. Maybe you don't have enough time to get out of the way. Maybe you're so tired you can't step out of the way. This might clear the punch. All right, so we're going to go 1, sway back. 2, sway back. 3, sway back and then up. Okay, next one, duck. All right, you never know. A lot of times somebody's swinging stuff at you, you just duck down into it. Go a little fetal, but just remember, don't bend forward and do it. Just squat and duck, right back up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next one, I want you to slip left. So you're going to slip left, raise that hand up. Don't slip left and give your chin. Cover it. 2 and 3. Now we're going to slip to the right. 2, 3. If I slip left, my left hand goes up. If I slip right, my right hand goes up. The same thing, let you look at it from the side. Slip left, slip right. Okay? Now, we're going to bob and weave. So I'm going to bob, and then I weave over. Then I'm going to go back. Don't look at the ground. Don't look at the ground. Okay? Bend with your knees. Almost like you're going to lift something heavy, you bend with your knees. Okay? Bob and weave. Still got my gaze looking at my opponent. I don't want to bob and weave and put my head down. I will get hit or I will get kneed from it. All right? So again, bob and weave, 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 bob and weave. Now, we're going to go more into hand defense for the upper body. All right? This is single cover. I'm looking right through the hole. I still have view of my opponent. 1, bring the hand up. This will let you come down. You'll be able to come back with a cross, or you'll be able to come back with a knee or a kick. All right? Rear hand, same thing. I can come back with my hook now. You see it? I'm looking right through. One more time. Okay, and then we're going to go double cover. Double cover. Maybe if I don't know which way it's coming in, or maybe it's an odd angle, this might be the defense for me right now. Both hands come up. 2, 3. Now, remember, the whole thing about the Bruce Lee era, it's kind of like an era, everything had to do with the 70s then. He kind of took and borrowed from a lot of people. Like in the footwork area, you've seen he was doing Muhammad Ali, that curve step. Now, this is called the peekaboo. Actually, it was taken from George Foreman. And right there is what he would do. He would come in like this. So this is 1, 2, 3. Now, if you look at it from here, you go into it, 2, and 3. So it's not too much to think about. It's easy. Just have your hands up. Simple rules. Hands up. Can't stress that enough. Chin down. Okay? And just keep your hands open and light. Meaning, like, don't stay heavy-fisted. You can't move too well with it. Make sure your hands just open, light. You'll be able to sway back. You'll be able to slip, bob, weave, and you'll just have a whole lot more elusive. You'll be a lot more elusive if you use this. Okay, now we're going to get into basic hand combinations. In Jun Fang Kung Fu, what we call this is ABC, attack by combination. Now, for beginning level tests, I'm going to keep it very basic for you, but we're just going to get into just multiple hand attacks. So the first one, really simple. We're going to jab, we will cross, hook. Okay, one more time. You're going to jab, cross, and hook. Important before we even get going, I still want you to maintain your form. I don't want you out there going, okay? Just don't be flopping around. You got to train with intensity, meaning you don't have to kill the mitt. I don't have to sit here and go and just try to like over punch it. What I want to do is I just want to maintain my form. Even if I'm going medium strength or medium hardness, it's just and my hand comes back. I don't drop this hand. I don't drop my lead hand. I don't stick my chin out. What I want is and then right back, okay? So hands up, still maintaining my stance, rear heel off the floor, chin down, looking forward. I jab, I cross, I hook. One more time. Jab, cross, hook. All right, so when I go, let me turn it this way a little bit. Okay, so now the next one we're going to go into is you're going to jab, I will hook, and then I cross. Everything that I visualize in this one is if Larry slipped to the inside, I'm going to hook it, okay? So one more time. I jab, I hook, I cross. Okay, that's the jab, hook, and the cross. Now, we're going to go cross, I hook, I cross. One more time. Cross, hook, cross. Okay, that's the cross, hook, cross. All right, from there, I'm going to keep with the crosses, but now I am going to uppercut. With the lead uppercut, back to the cross. So I cross, up, cross. Dig in. If I were getting in there, I lift up into him. They call it a shovel hook or a bolo punch. What you want to do is just lift. One analogy that was given to me was like if I were going to lift a big sack over my arm, I lift it because I want to get it up there. All right, same deal here. 1, up, 2. Okay, that's the cross, the uppercut, and the cross. Now, we're going to go jab, cross, to the upper. That's it. So you're going to jab, cross, again, uppercut. That's the jab, the cross, and the uppercut. Okay, so now we're going to go into overhand, uppercut, overhands. Now, there are 2 feeds. One, some people like to feed like this, where you would hit it here, here, and here, or to split them apart. I kind of like this one a little bit better, just for myself. Either one is fine. So when you come in, you're going to go in between it, up, and then back down. So you go. Now he'll flip his hands over, and it's the same deal. I'm going to go in, over, upper, over. So. Okay, now he's going to go back to the original hold, and instead of the over first, I'm going to come with the upper first. So it goes. Now I'm going to flip it. So we're going to go up, over, up. That's the overhands and the uppercuts, so you can mix it either way. All right, so now we're going to go cross. Then I'm going to go body hook. And then cross. Okay, so that's the cross, body hook, cross. Right from there, I want you to go with the rear uppercut, okay? So we're going to go rear upper, hook, cross. One more time. Rear upper, hook, cross. After that uppercut goes, keep that hand up. Real important. Okay, so now we're going to go uppercut. I want you to go to the cross and then come out with the hook. So we go upper, cross, hook. So up, cross, hook. Okay, so now we're going to go from that to the jab to the uppercut. So again, I look at Larry. If he slips it, I come up with the upper. Okay, so we're going to go jab, upper, cross. Jab, upper, cross. All right. One more. Okay, the last one that I want you to do is I want you to go jab, cross, and then rear uppercut. So it's the same deal. Maybe I go at Larry, 1, 2, and his head goes this way. I'm going to come up with a rear upper, okay? So we go jab, cross, uppercut. All the right hand, okay? That's what Larry has. Not for me, but for Larry, his feet is 1, 2, 3. All right? Okay? And that's it. So right now I've given you about a dozen variations. Just work those. It's going to be part of the test. I'm going to call on it. Again, I look at form. I don't want you out there doing this. This is good form. What am I lacking? I'm lacking intensity. All right? So even if you're not the strongest puncher, I want you to sit there and just work it. Okay? I need the intensity. I prefer you putting a little bit of anger behind it. You got to have some in you. You're in martial arts, you're working, you know how to dig it out. Get it going a little bit and just start to put it in. You'll start to come up with new variations of your own as you work this. So just train it. You got about a dozen variations, get those down and drill them. Okay, so this brings us into kicking now. So Joe's in. All right, so what we're going to do is we're both mitted up. We're going to alternate just to change up our workout a little bit instead of us holding for 3 minutes and then swapping it over. It lets us both just keep active and moving. All right, so basic kicking, real slow. Joe is going to jik tek. Jik tek is just like a straight kick, all right? Jik tek. So he's going to put the mid out for me. Jik tek could be with the flat of the foot or it could be with the toe. Doesn't matter. If you go jik tek, if he puts the flat of the foot, it could be more into the groin. The toe could also be into the groin. It doesn't matter. All right, so jik tek and jik tek. That's it, okay? So the second one we're going to do, I'm going to put the mitt. I bend my knee. Make sure you're not here, because if he's going to go into dumb tek. Dumb tek's a stomp kick. I don't want to hyperextend my knee or tear any ligaments or tendons. So I kind of bend my knee and I put the mitt down. He's going to dumb tek. So he'll hold for me. Dumb tek can be with the rear leg stomp, or I can step up and lead leg stomp. So he's going to go dumb tek, and then I will go dumb tek, and one more time, dumb tek. Okay, next one is juk tek. Juk tek is held, the mid side is held just to the side. He's going to side kick. A juk tek is a side kick. It's not my favorite to do into a focus mid. It always seems to feel, hold on to the side, always seems to feel a little bit weak, kicking it with a side kick. But it's okay. I prefer it with the kicking shield, which we'll probably get to later in this video. So he's going to juk tek, and he's going to hold for me, and I'm going to juk tek. So I pose for him, he juk teks, and then I go back. Okay? That's juk tek. All right, next one is now tek. Now tek, nowadays we call it a round kick, but in Jin Fang Kung Fu, now is hook. So I'll just hold it medium height, and then he's going to hold for me. Now tek, and now tek. Okay, so now, right now we're going to go into gua tek. Gua tek is a crescent kick. Do a crescent kick. All right, Jin Fang Kung Fu normally won't kick this high. All right, I've seen guys do it. They do pull it off, but most of the time, what we use the gua tek for is a switcher lead. Is I'm going to cover my groin. Not that I don't trust him, but I don't. Okay, I'm going to cover my groin, and I'm going to put this right here. So he's going to go. This is a groin kick. So pop it in. That's what they do with it. All right. Okay. So cover yourself. All right. What they do is they want to hit the groin right here. Do you see this? It goes in one, and it's going to stab right in, okay? So for training, I'm not going for the groin right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in right here, all right? And one way that we would use this is swap your lead. Right now, if I kicked at Joe's leg, and if he did a full step back, do you see where this is? It's going to go right in here, okay? So again, if I go one, it goes in two, okay? So that's the gua tek. All right, moving on. Now, how tek. I'm going to have you spin around for me. All right, how tek, I like to call them donkey kicks. So I want you to think of this. Think of he's running from me. I'm chasing him down. If I start to get on him, I want him just to back kick me. Okay, so if I'm on the run and he's coming after me, it's just going to thrust right back. So I just hold the mitts for him, pop it in there. That's it. That's it. It's a good way to get somebody off your back. Maybe you got to run. Maybe you got to get out of there. Maybe he's got 5 friends behind him. So it's just good to be able to just sit there and pump that out, and you're still on the move. Okay? That's the how tek. All right? So now, we're going to go to Jun juk. So Joe, he's going to go, Jun is spin. All right? Which is different from Jun fan. Jun fan is Bruce Lee's Cantonese name. Jun means spin. Okay? So it's from what I'm told, homophones. I don't know how to speak Chinese, only a little bit through this art, but I know that Jun fan versus Jun tek, different word, different meaning. Okay, so he is going to go right now into Jun juk. That's it. One more time. That's it. One more time. So when I go, a lot of times the way we gear is maybe I step. So right here, and I just pump it out. Okay, one more time. 1, and then I pump it out. All right, that's the Jun juk. All right, next one is Jun now. That's it. So Jun now is the now tech I told you earlier was a hook kick. Well, he's literally hooking now. So the heel comes up and it hooks. Okay? Now we're going to go to Jun Gua. So Jun Gua is the crescent. Remember the Gua tech to the groin a little while ago? So Jun Gua. Hold it up for me. So that's Jun Gua. Okay, so one more time. Jun Gua. Okay? Then what I want you to go into now is the last of the Jun series right now is Jun So. He's just going to go, I'm going to put the mid out there low for him. And it's almost like Jun Now Tech. He just comes through. But when he lowers it, I think of sweeping. Okay? And then the last one, out of all of them, we're not even going to use the mitts on each other. It's going to be Jit Tech. So maybe he jabs at me, and I just go here, jab. There you go. That's it. So anytime maybe he crosses, I just keep that out there. Jit Tech is named, well, actually the system's name is Jeet Kune Do, and it means weigh the intercepting fist. Well, Jeet is intercepting leg, or intercepting kick. If he punches, I just put that out there. It looks like a sloppy side kick. If I'm here, right here, and if he goes, and if I stab that, a lot of times if his hands are up, and if he comes in, it pushes it to where it'll pitch the hands down, and he gives me the face. So if it'll look something like this. One, bang. All right, you'll be able to come in. So if Joe goes, one, look what it does to my guard. It drops my guard all the way to here. Imagine if I fought him with my hands down here. He'd have a field day all day long. All right, so the same thing. If my hands are up, he wants to bring them down. So if I come in, he just put them down. Okay, that's the Jit Tech. All right, so now, after you get this done, we're going to go into complex kicking, or else just combination kicking. That's coming up now. All right, now I want to combine kicks. So you have all the basic kicks down, so I'm just going to give you a few examples of combining kicks. I'm going to go with about 4 or 5 variations for you. So the first one, you're just going to Jit Tech to the Now Tech. So I just want them together. If we go 1, 2. So Joe's going to go 1, 2. I will go 1, 2. You see it? So just combine the kick. First one, touch, come up with the second kick. Okay, pretty simple. It's not too hard. All right, now, what I want you to do is you're going to go Now Tech to the Juk Tech. Okay? Now, a lot of people look at this like it comes from Savat, in which it probably does. I'm sure a lot of his influence did come from Savat. So if I went Now Tech, sometimes they will not even touch the ground. There are other times where I can touch the ground. If I went Now Tech, I can touch, and I can hop it back in. Okay, so we're going to let Joe do it. So don't touch the ground. You see it? So he doesn't have to touch. It'll leave a beat off. What it does is it just gives you like a hair, a little bit faster. You'll be a hair faster. So it kind of makes the timing a little bit off. Okay? So the other version that we'll do is if I went Now Tech, 1, now I have to touch. Come in and side kick. So if Joe does it, 1, see he chases it down again. That's it. Okay? So now, that means we're going to pick up the distance. If he's running from me, I have to chase him down. Okay, so now, what I want you to go into, the next one is going to be Now Tech to Dumb Tech. So Dumb Tech is a stomp. Now Tech, again, you've been doing it, is the hook kick, or round kick, we call it nowadays. So if we go Now Tech, I just stomp Dumb Tech. So it just goes 1, 2. So Joe goes. All right, so watch. He goes Now Tech. If I don't move, he could just stomp it right there. Even if I do move, he could kind of track me in and stomp the kick, okay? So that's Now Tech. Let me do it one time. Now Tech, right there, plant. I could just stomp that knee, or if he backs off me a little bit, Now Tech, stomp it. You'll see he'll feel a little better when he backs up, but it still can be used close range. All right, now the last one, I want you to go Dumb Tech to Now Tech. So if he Dumb Techs, he goes Now Tech. So do it a little bit of speed. You see it? So the idea, I might move my leg. So if he kicks, I move it. He just continues on with it. You see that? He goes, well, it's not there. He continues. Or he could fake me. He could go here and just put it up. So he makes me believe he's going for my leg. I think I'm safe, so I move my leg back, and he gets me. 1, that's it. Okay, one last time. Here, let me do it one time. Now watch this. When I go, and I pop it out, all right? So as you go in, I can bait him. I can make him think that I am going to get it. If he moves it out, I just let the other foot take the face, okay? All right, so that's now dumb tech 2 now tech. So you got about 5, 6 variations. Just work that. It's going to be on the test. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to throw at you, but when it's test time, I'm going to tell you, give me a combination of probably 2 different kicks, and just play with them. You'll get it. Okay, we're going to go into basic kick defenses. What I want you to do is get back in your fighting stance, okay? Get comfortable, chin down. All right, now we're going to go low kick defense. So if somebody were to come in and kick me low, I'm just going to raise my leg. This is raise leg shield, 1. Raise leg shield, 2, and 3. All right, now cross leg shield. Say I think that the person's going to kick and he fakes me and he kicks from this side, I'm going to cross over. So it goes 2 and 3 right here. So if I bring Joe out, if we're here, if he low leg kicks, I just leg shield it. You see it? Right here. But he might fake me. He might go here and kick on the other side. I might not have the time to raise this up by the time he gets on me. So what we do is we just bring it over. So we're going to go up and move it over. So you go right here. Okay, that's rear cross leg shield. Now we go into rear leg shield. Rear leg shield. Rear leg shield. Okay, now, next part is middle kick defense. If I think that it's going to be middle kick, I'm not sure, what I'll do if it's going to be low, high, is I touch my elbow to my knee and I put my hand out. So you go 1, 2, 3. Opposite side, 1, 2, 3. Now Joe comes back in again. Same thing, if he kicks, I don't know if it's low or high, I go right here. You see I get that push on the chest? I get it right here because see now it's going to let me come in back at him. So we go here, or if he kicks with the other leg, I go right here. Okay? I make sure I cover. I make sure my knee touches, and this whole line should be just guarded by this whole wall that I'm putting up. Okay, so the next one, when we're going, is high kick defense. High kick defense is I'm going to cover my head, I'm going to step to the side, and I'm just going to paw at the kick. So it goes 1, and then right back. 2, right back. 3, back. Same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Again, Joe comes in. If he kicks, I don't stay here and do it. I'm going to get the brunt. If you think about this, go slow. The whole apex of his kick, the strength is here. I want to go where it's decelerating, so I want to move to here. All right, so if he kicks, I move and I go. See, because now that gives me that shot. All right, I don't stay there for the brunt force of the kick. I want to drop it. I want to move out of the way and drop his leg down before he has a chance of like cycling all the way through. So one more time. 1 right there, and then I can give it back. Same thing on the other side. See, I move it, and then I go back. Okay, the next one I want to go to is going to be the sway back. Maybe I don't have enough time to get out. Maybe I'm dead tired. My legs won't move out of the way. So if he comes in, if he gives me a lead leg high kick in my face, I just move out of the way. All right, kick through. There. And see, now I can come right back in. So sometimes I just sway back. All right, there are times just when my legs won't carry me out. So if he goes, go slow, just sway back so you can come right back in. Okay, so just sometimes that's all that you got to use it. Okay, so now if he were to kick low, and I say I couldn't get the leg shield, kick low. So there are times when he kicks low, we use this, and when he goes, it's going to be pak tek. Okay, later if I don't care about him, it could be the groin. That's not the main objective. What they do, let me move you over here. They'll put it right here on the hip, or they'll put it in the stomach. If you round kick, I just go here. Don't go here like kick. Don't go here. If I give Joe the rear kick, he can pak tek. But see, if he goes that low, right here, this isn't good because if I fake him, I could go right underneath it, take him off his feet. So what I want to do is, like if he goes, if I go low, he's got that right underneath thing if he fakes me. So I like to put it up a little bit, right there, because even if he fakes, I still have it up and I can get the stop. The other place that we like to put it is right in the chest. Okay, so just work that, all right? This is pak tek, real slow, pak tek. There or at the chest, okay? The last one is if he kicks me in the leg, right there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pendulum out, and I just wanna pendulum back in. One more time, goes out and then back in. So just remember this in the footwork section. One more time, 1 and back, okay? So that's basic kicking defenses for the beginning level test. Okay, now the boxing section's over for the beginning level material. We're gonna go into trapping. All right, trapping, it's a little more esoteric. A lot of systems don't have trapping. Some people don't even feel trapping is valid. They think it's a waste of time. They think it'll get you hurt. I beg to differ. I think it has great value. I think that if you watch any mixed martial arts event, televised or go to see an event, you'll see guys trap. And no matter how crude it is, it's trapping. You'll see them try to snag an arm, hold it, manipulate it to where they could get a hit and hold on again. It's trapping. Just because we put names to our techniques that we do doesn't make it any less valid. I think the problem is maybe when you become so fixated with just trapping is where you might get really hurt bad, because a good boxer is going to get past that. So a trap, the way that you would train it, it's all isolation the way we train it. And then you're supposed to put it into your sparring and try to pull it off. And I mean, I've trained for a long time at this, and there are many times that I've gotten my clock cleaned for trying to trap. It just wasn't the right time. I went to slap his arm, and that guy just hit me for it. You know, it's just part of learning. If you think about this, is a jab effective? Is it effective against Mike Tyson? Maybe not, you know? But there's a time and a place for everything. If you see that arm out there, it might be a good thing to slap it out of the way or grab onto it. If you feel somebody trying to grab you or hold on to you, you might want to manipulate their arm off them. To me, that's all falls in the category of trapping. Right now, if Willie came in, and if we locked onto each other right here, this is where a lot of grappling matches start. See, right now, we would start from here. They would say, go, and then we go, right? Or you might just start in here, and there's no punching or whatever, but in their system, it could be judo, it could be Brazilian jiu-jitsu, wrestling. They'll start here, and they'll kind of go here, and they'll just try to grab onto each other, or they'll try to, like, manipulate it. It's a little bit of trapping in there, but it's not that refined. In a boxing match, if we're both sitting there and we're swinging, and we start to come in and clinch, what happens? The referee's going to come in, and what's he going to do? He's going to push you apart. He's going to say, okay, fight, go. All right, so now they avoided the whole area of trapping. Same with kickboxing. Okay, this is where Junfang Gung Fu likes it. So Willie, come on in. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at this barrier right here. Right now, if Willie punches me, that's in my way of getting to him. Or if he's got that hand out here and just kind of blocking, he might be picking off my arm no matter where I come in, right? To hit him. So I have to remove this barrier. It's got to get out of there. So what I want to do is I'm going to go through several of the methods that we use, just the basic hand trapping positions for you. So when Willie's in, if his hand, he's just going to put up right now. He's just going to be a dummy for me. He's going to have that barrier in the way. The first one that we're going to use is called Pak Sao. Pak means slap. Sao is hand. Okay, so Pak Sao is this. That's Pak Sao. That's all it is. It's me coming in and removing this barrier. So if we're up and we're here, and I go right there, that's called Pak Sao Da. Da just means strike. Now, there are many different strikes. See, I can, just put your hands down for a second. Could be Ping Choi, this could be Chung Choi, this could be Gua Choi, this could be Lao Sing Choi, this could be Biuji. The Biuji is the eye jab. So let me explain these again for you. All right, I don't want to go too much into the strikes now, but just so you have a common knowledge of what's going on. Chung Choi is more of a vertical fist. Ping Choi is more horizontal. Chop Choi is extended knuckle. Gua Choi is the backhand. Lao Sing Choi is like a rake down. Then there's Set Sao. There's Jin Choi is the uppercut. Okay, Biuji is the eye jab. So just with that, what I'm going to do is when I say Pak Sao Da, Da could be anything. It's like me saying I struck him. What did you strike him with? It could be anything. Okay, so right now, if he's got that barrier up, that's Pak Sao Gua Choi. Okay. So that's Pak Sao Da Gua Choi. All right, so right now I'm just going to worry about the hand. Pak Sao is right here. Okay? It's not here. I see a lot of people do this. Don't gear back. You're telling them what you're going to do. It's like saying, I'm going to hit you, Willie. Here it comes. And then I go and I hit. You're not going to cock it back. You're just going to go. The same thing with this is you're just going to go right from where you are and you're going to hit. Another way of doing it is what we call from the connection. Now, nobody fights this way unless you're in a movie called Enter the Dragon, okay? But we use it as a reference point. You're going to remove the barrier and go. So what this is saying right now is if I threw this hand up and Willie's a front hand blocker, look, we got the connection. Okay, one more time. It goes one. Now I can go. So right now, if I'm here, I can go like that and just go in, okay? All right, so from the connection, this is the dam. This is the water. If the dam breaks, the water doesn't pull back and then go. If the dam breaks, the water just goes. I don't know if that explained it for you or not, or the theory behind it is always forward pressure. Don't gear back, okay? All right, so the first one again, pak sao da, okay? The next one, right now, we'll say from the connection, is lop sao. Lop is pull, sao is hand, so it's pulling hand. Will he do that? Lop sao, do you see it? So he wants to give me a little bit of whiplash when he pulls me, go. You want to get that little bit of a whiplash feeling, do you see it? All right, so again, like I said, basic hands, gua choi. All right, gua choi is the backhand. Do you see it? I don't have to be from the connection in a trap to do it. It could be right here. I might be able to hit, and if this hand weren't there, I can backhand it. Or maybe he blocks that rear hand and I go around it. See, that's more gua choi. All right, the biu-ji is the eye jab. But biu is also a block. Like if Willie punches, I can biu. You see it punch me? I just go right here. See, this is biu, what they'll call biu sao. Sao is hand, so it's finger block, they'll call it. All right? The next one is going to be sut sao. So if I come in, that's the sut. The sut is, all it is just the blade of your hand hitting. So right now, if I go here, I can go right here with the sut sao. And the sut is just like just a chop, okay? All right, again, I'm going to recap. Ping choi. Ping choi is here. So right now, usually the lead hand in Junfang Gung Fu is chung choi, or they'll say slant left. Or if I'm in the right lead, slant right. Okay, so this is chung choi. This is ping choi because of the direction of the fist. Okay, so now we can go chop choi. So chop choi, it just puts an extra inch or so on my fist. You see that? Instead of me being here, it's here. So right here I'm touching, right here I'm not. So a lot of times they'll throw it out that way. Okay, now the next one is called wanjern. Wanjern is round palm. So what they'll do is they'll hit it in this way, okay? Or they'll go this way with it, or it could go to the kidneys, okay? Round palm is wanjern. So anytime that we're going, it might go here, and then it could go into the sut sao, okay? Now, wanjern is round palm versus jikjern, which is straight palm. The jikjern, like jik tek, is straight, okay? So it might just go in like that. Versus the biu-ji, there are times I might not want to biu-ji. Maybe I don't want to maim him or blind him. Maybe he's a friend of mine. Maybe he's a little drunk or a little mad, and I'm just trying to knock him back and knock a little sense into him. And if I'm coming in with an eye jab, he's not going to be a friend of mine much longer. Not that he'd like me too much either if I sat there hitting him in the head with the flat of my palm. But you can hurt to a degree. It doesn't mean that jikjern's any less of a valid technique than the biu-ji, but you just got to figure out why you're going to use it and when. And the only way you're really going to truly figure it out is by training this stuff. So what did I give you? I think I give you 9 variations. Just train in 9 variations. Just go easy. Be aware of the eyes. Usually if I throw the eye jab, I usually tell my students if we go up, I go here. I throw it there. Or I just kind of like lift the fingers. It looks like the jikjern, but I'm thinking of the eye jab, the biu-ji. It's just I don't want to cut Willie. I've been cut before with a student training. He trapped my arm and he got me in the eye, and it put me in the hospital. I had a cut cornea. So it's just be safe and use your common sense.